Welcome to Ilagan Whiteboard Friday, where we look at complex legal and compliance issues in a simple to do way. This series is brought to you by Ilagan, your partner and provider of end-to-end business services.
Hello and welcome to Ilagan Whiteboard Friday, where we look at various legal and compliance issues in a user-friendly fashion. Today we will look at something called privacy policy. This is applicable only for online businesses where people come and share a lot of their information. So this document, what it is, privacy policy actually deals with the privacy of the data that you collect from your various visitors or users on your website. It's a very important thing. A lot of users go through it because it also defines what kind of privacy they can expect on your data, whatever data that you collect, and it's an important document. So privacy policy should actually cover in detail what all data that you are actually collecting from the user whenever they are visiting. So in order to do their transactions or in order to do any activity on your website, you may be asking a lot of information, for example, name, date of birth, age, gender, address, email address, phone number, even like if it is say e-commerce and all, it could even be things like credit card information, bank information, relationship. So a lot of data that you generally collect from your users. So you should specify what all data that you are collecting when the user comes and uses your website, what kind of information they are expected to give. So you need to specify those information. Then you need to speak a little more detail about how you are storing those information, like on your database, what are the kind of security measures that you take to make sure, like whether it is encrypted, how does it flow, all those infrastructure that you have for all the data storage. So these things speak about how you store and what is the security of the data. And what is the data retention policy, how long you would be keeping the data, or in case if suppose a user comes and gives their information today and they go and update, so would you be keeping a worsening of it, or if a user deletes any specific records, are you actually archiving it at the back and just showing a delete at the front? So those kind of things. What is the data retention policy? Very important, data sharing policy, including stat bodies. So with whom all you would be sharing the data, in what fashion. So things like how you use the collected data. That is, like for example, you can say you should not say what is good, but you should actually say what you are going to do. So privacy policy is again not a copy and paste from a competitor website. It's more what exactly you are doing, what steps you are taking, what infrastructure you have. So you have to specify what all places, how you would going to use the data. For example, you may be using it in an aggregated fashion, or you may even like share the data with a marketing agency or some other purpose, right? So there is no harm in doing that, but then you need to specify whatever data users are giving, it is liable, they can expect that it can be shared with marketing agencies. So you need not just have that you will never use the data in your privacy policy. So you should have a privacy policy depending on how you are using it. For example, you can release research reports which says such and such gender of people buy these kind of products. So some analytics you can run, this age group, or people in this geography or this demography. So those kind of things you can share it in an aggregated fashion. So whatever you are using, you should give details how you are going to use the data. And data sharing is more like, suppose a statutory body approaches you, then what all information you could share, provided if there is a proper legal thing, then you may be actually forced to share the information which you generally don't share. So you should give some details about that, what all things you might probably share if there is a proper court order or a legal statutory body which is approaching to collect any data. There is always a lot of third-party links that any website uses. So you should give details about, in case if some of those websites are also collecting some data, for example, Google Analytics, right? So a lot of people have analytics on all their pages. So what all data do they collect and what kind of control you have? So Google might also be storing all those information on their personal server, which is not just under your control. So you have to warn the users that you are using similar third-party tools, and some of the information which you don't control or own could also be collected by them during the whole course. And then you should always give your contacts and grievance resolution mechanism. So if anybody has any privacy concern, or if they feel there has been a breach of privacy, there should be a place where they can reach and then get their grievances resolved. So these are a few things that you should look at a privacy policy. It's an important document again, and it's always advisable to talk to an expert before you draft the similar policies. Thank you. Please feel free to contact us at support@ilagan.com, or you can also check out our knowledge base at ilagan.com/kb. Thank you.